Welcome to Module 1. So I've gone in Content to Module 1, and it tells me everything that's really going to be expected of me during this module. So again, this is the first 5 weeks of the class. You're going to have quizzes over chapters 2 through 6, exercises that are going to be due, projects, optional bonus discussions, if you can get good discussions going in there, and the topics that we're going to cover each week. So for week 1, we are jumping in with account setups and file management, and we'll talk a little bit about tools, and chapter 1 is about introduction to web development that you can read, and we'll talk about just a little bit. And then chapter 2 is getting started making some websites. So that's this week. So let's go ahead and look down below at what is expected of us. We have module quizzes. All of the quizzes are listed there. You can do those during the week. I advise that you do those during the week that I talk about them, that you have the videos of them. But if you want to do those all in the beginning or all at the end, that's fine with me. The same thing with the exercises and dropping to the Dropbox. So we'll have in the beginning, or as we go along, we'll have a few exercises or assignments. I think I called these assignments that don't come from the textbook. In that case, I'll give you everything that you need. Sorry, that was the Dropbox. Let's go backwards. I'll give you everything that you need in the module exercise instructions and Dropboxes. So you have the instructions, you have the files that you'll need for the file management assignment, part of that, and then the Dropbox. The same thing for the Chrome DevTools, and the instructions, the files, and then the Dropbox. And then, of course, the exercises that come from the textbook, all you will have is a Dropbox there because the instructions are already in your textbook. For the textbook exercises, you'll just take a screenshot of your finished product at the end of all of the exercises. So, for example, Chapter 2 has 2 parts. It has 2.1 and 2.2. And at the end of 2.2, you'll just take a screenshot of what you have, drop that in the Dropbox. And the exercises are graded either you did it or you didn't do it, 10 or 0 most of the time. And so let me go back to the module. And so that's the beginning of the module. Then we have the module quizzes, the module exercises. And then you're going to have, for each assignment, for each module, you'll have a big project. So this is, like I said before, this is like the exam for the module. We don't have any exams, true exams in this class. Instead, you have a project that's due at the end of each module. So I give you there your instructions. They'll have a design component and a development component, and I provided you the instructions and the Dropbox, the instructions for the development and the Dropbox, and then I even gave you a sample of my developed site, and I'll talk about that more as we go along. And then module discussions, you can get there from here, or you can go to discussions up at the top of Cobra. The tools discussion and the personal website design discussion are for this module. The introduction discussion is something that you can do. I would love to know more about you. Your classmates would love to know more about you, but you're not going to get extra credit just for introducing yourselves. But I'd love to have you do that anyway. And then finally, the module content resources will be found in these weeks. So for week 1, I provided some links some folders with links in it. And sorry, I did not give you those instructions. Those are things I'm giving you verbally. And getting started making websites. Those are the two things that we're doing in this module, or in this week, I should say. And so for each week, you'll have the content that you need, that you might want to use and you might not want to use them. So for example, this account setups gives you a link to GitHub and a link to Lynda, and we'll be using both of those later in the semester. And then the file management, I have a demo there already. That is not your file management assignment. You have a different file management assignment, but this tells you, it gives you an idea of how to do those. Tools is broken down into Chrome DevTools, and I gave you a couple of tutorials there. Browsers, you probably already have Chrome and Edge on your computers. You might also have Firefox. You may have others. Feel free to pick different browsers, but I'll be using Chrome in my demos. Text editors, again, we'll be using brackets. I will be using brackets, and that's what the textbook uses. And there are more available, and feel free to use any of those that you might like. And graphic design tools. And I've said that you're not required to use Photoshop or Illustrator, but you certainly can. I've had some students who used Paint. I had a couple of people who've used PowerPoint, some who've used GIMP successfully, some who tried to use GIMP and it was unsuccessful. So I gave you links to them, but really I want you to use whatever design tool you already know. And that was the tools. So that's all of week 1. So I'm going to come back to week 1 and I'm sorry, I'm not actually going to go back to there. I'm going to come back up to the module, and you need to do for this week, or what I would advise that you do for this week, is the Chapter 2 textbook quiz and the account setups file management assignment. And the account setups were just the GitHub and Lynda that I gave you the links to down in the content resources, as well as file management that, again, I give you the assignment instructions here, and I tell you what I want you to do. File and folder management, you're going to create a folder, you're going to download that zip and extract it, open the file, open the index using a text editor, view any script and link tags, and using their source or href attributes, see what the folder paths need to be. And this is similar to what was in the videos that I provided in the unit. If you're unsure, you can always go back to those videos. Keep refreshing your browser to make sure that it works, and at the end, you should have some bouncing balls. So if you click on the page, the balls should bounce, and then zip that folder and resubmit it to me. So you will ultimately have, at the end of this project or the end of this assignment, a screenshot of where you logged into Lynda, a screenshot of where you set up an account on GitHub, and a zipped folder for your file management. And that's all that's required there. Let me come back to now the Chrome DevTools assignment is the next one that I would advise for this week. And the Chrome DevTools assignment has you opening up the zipped files in Chrome, has you opening them up in Chrome and in brackets or your chosen text editor, and bringing in the files that you need, saving it, and then making some changes in Chrome DevTools. And I'll give you a video on this as well, and that's what it should look like when you're finished. And those are the assignments and exercises that I recommend for this week. Account setups and file management assignment, your Chrome DevTools assignment, the Chapter 2 quiz, the, I didn't mention, the exercise 2 from your textbook. And if you wanted to go ahead and start on some discussion, then feel free to do some discussion. The tools discussion would go along well with this week.